Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today what we're going to do is we're going to try and fix transmission on the van you see behind me here. What the symptom is it has no reverse, and it doesn't slow the vehicle down when you let off the gas. So what we're working on is a 2007 Chevy 2500 van, two-wheel drive. It's got a 4L80 4-speed automatic in it, and I did a little bit of research, and it shouldn't be that big a deal to fix, so I was just going to try and figure this out and bring you along to see if I can fix it. Okay, so put the pan off obviously, and I pulled the filter out. Right here is the accumulator, and so what I got to do is unbolt that. Looks like there's 6 bolts to hold that on, and so inside of there is the what I need to test, and also where the repair is to be done, if it's repairable. Unfortunately, the way they designed this thing, there's a bolt behind the valve body. So what I'm hoping I can do is I'm going to try and loosen a bunch of these and let the valve body drop down a little bit, enough to get that out of there. I really don't want to unbolt the valve body and take it out. I'm not a transmission guy really, so I don't know if I lose any of the check balls or anything like that, I'm in deep trouble. So that's the plan anyway, is to let that settle down enough to where I can get that off of there. Okay, so I took the wiring harness down to get it out of the way. Unplug the 2 plugs in the front, take it out of the 2 clips here, and then unplug this guy right here. It's got 2 little pinchies, and then I took the solenoid, the shift solenoid, out of the way because it was covering up this bolt right here that we got to get to. So there's the 6 bolts for the servo. Whoops, for the servo. So I'm gonna unbolt them and see if this thing will actually pop out of here without taking the valve body loose. I'm hoping that it will. So that'll be the next step. Okay, well, unfortunately, I got this unbolted, and there's not enough room under the valve body to let this thing out. So I'm gonna have to lower it down. I'm hoping that I can just lower it down enough. So I guess I'll start loosening a bunch of bolts up and go from there. Okay. So as you can see, I got the servo out. So what the trick is I did loosen all the bolts to the valve body and lowered it down. The trick is to try and get this to drop down with, if you can get this to pop out and drop down into this, then it'll give you enough angle to slide this out. Now, I didn't know that this was stuck up in there, so trying to get this cap around that and the valve body was a pain in the ass. So if you can figure out how to get this to slide down into here, then that gives you a lot of wiggle room to pop it out. So that's the ticket to that. So at least you don't have to take the valve body all the way off, you just got to loosen the bolts. Okay, so what we're trying to fix here is the end of this. So this servo pushes up against a band inside the transmission, and that engages reverse, and also engages the brake. I guess you could call it a brake. So when you let off the gas, it slows the vehicle down, and as you can see, it is pretty freaking worn out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean all this up. I have a repair kit here that I bought off of Amazon. So anyhow, it's got all the new seals for the servo, and then it's got this little piece right here. It's essentially a shim, or to shim it up so that way it will push on the band like it's supposed to again. And ideally we'll have reverse again once I put this all back together. So anyhow, I'm going to clean everything up, and I'll get back to you in a second. Alright, so I got everything cleaned up. So basically got this all cleaned up, And so make sure to take the spring out, and then this little doodaddy here pops out of there too, and there'll be a bunch of shit inside of here, so make sure to clean that up as well. And then there's your seals. So you have 1, 2, and 3, which are in the kit. And then of course this is the gasket for that. So from what I've found doing research, the next thing I'm going to need to do is take this clip off and then disassemble all of this, and then measure how far up in the transmission this goes, so that we know how far to pound the doodaddy on there. Okay, so take all the springs and everything off the rod, which I will show you how to put it back together here in just a second. So anyhow, take all the springs off and just put the rod by itself with the spacer, and then push this up all the way in there, and then you got to measure how far in it goes, and it's supposed to be 80 thousandths. What I need to do is then pound this on the end of that shaft until we get the proper depth to get it to 80 thousandths. 60 to 80 is what they said. So when you take this apart, make sure you hang onto that clip, because there's going to be spring pressure on the end of it, and it'll go flying like mine did. Okay, so what I need to do is take this and put it on the end there, and then I'm going to tap it on a little ways, put it in, we'll do a depth check, and then I will slowly put this on until we get the proper depth of what we're looking for, which will take me a second. I'm gonna have to clean this up. It's so mushroomed that this won't even fit on there. Okay, so I got the spacer on there. I did the depth. It's at 65 thousandths, which should be a-okay. All right, so to reassemble this, you take the little doodaddy there, put the spring on, put the spacer on, and then put the second spring on, and then you got to take this and line it up, and then push down like that, and then put the snap ring in, or the E-clip in. Let's see if I can do it. Alright, there we go. Just like that. Alright, so next thing I'm going to do is replace these O-rings, all 3 of them, and put that back in, and then put the spring in, and install it back in the transmission. Sweet! Alright, there it is. I got it all back together. Getting that in there was no fun. Bring your patience. But, got to make sure to orientate the cap the correct way. There's a little notch that you'll see. Here, I'll show you. So this little guy right here, that faces towards the valve body. You'll see it up inside the transmission there. But getting that thing up in there, getting it to stay while you put the cap on, it's something else, especially when you're getting rained on by transmission fluid. Good times. So I got it all cleaned up and put a new filter on it. We'll slap the pan on and put some fluid in it and see if we have reverse. We should. That thing had so much, I think it had almost, what did I say earlier? Damn near 300 thousandths, and it's supposed to be 60 to 80. So I'm pretty confident that we got this thing licked. Well, all right, guys, I got the van all put back together, got it full of fluid, started it up, ran it, and it still don't have reverse. So I think the band may be screwed up or something inside there. I'm not sure, but unfortunately, it didn't fix the problem. I mean, it did have a problem. That rod was definitely worn out, but so I'm gonna give the guy a call and see what he wants to do with it. See if we're gonna maybe get a transmission for it or what he wants to do. So anyhow, I just wanted to give you a wrap up on that, and appreciate you watching, and have a good day.